Hold on.
Got it?
Hold on, Boosie. Hold on. Trying to do it. What the heck? Hold on. These are technical difficulties, man. Hold on. I guess I am live. Yeah, we live.
Girl.
I didn't see it. Okay. We're going to give a few minutes. Let me see. We're live. Facebook Live. Talking about more money, more problems. Yep, we're live. More money, more problems. We have Bootzilla as usual. We're supposed to have a surprise guest, so I am waiting to see if they are going to log on today. Let me share this to a page real quick. Okay, you guys. You hear that, Sonny? What do you say? BIG, no info for the DEA. Federal agents mad because I'm flagrant. Tap myself and the phone in the basement. That's what he said. That's what they do. Everybody know the infamous BIG. All right, you guys. Today we're here, Wealth Wednesday, every Wednesday, brought to you by Flea, as you can see. Okay, I guess I'm a rapper now. That's Flea, as you can see. But today we're here to discuss the top 3 sacrifices that one must make for your children or for you as well. But more importantly, we're going to talk about for your children to have financial stability. Forgive my bump. I got a little bump, so forgive my bump. So we have one of our advisors for Flea, Bootzilla. I call it Bootzilla because that's her name from Coney Gardens. But her name is Boosie. That's what we're going to call her with Flea. Boosie, can you hear us?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So today I promised you the top 3 sacrifices that a parent must make to make sure your children are gifted with financial security. So we want to discuss that today. If you're listening, make sure you share this post. Again, share so we can bless as many people as possible. And you're probably wondering, what is all this stuff they got on? Please, I'll show you mine. Financial Literacy Educators of America. We're giving advice you can bank on. That's what we're doing, giving you advice you can bank on. I see Henry Wilson, one of our board members on there. How you doing, Wilson? He's from Detroit as well. Detroit, we bringing it to the other D. We educating y'all. Brought to you by Flea. I like that. I like that little no, I do not have a desire to become a rapper. Let's get started because I try to make it 30 minutes or less because some of our attention spans are very short. So we're not going to stay on here long. So anybody, Wilson, Sharon, you already know what the top 3 sacrifices are. Wilson, if you want to put in the comments, what do you think one sacrifice may be? Anybody that's listening, one sacrifice that you think a parent must do or make, to make sure their kids are granted or gifted with some financial stability. I'll give you guys about 10 seconds to see if somebody can post something. I see you got 7 Mile for Life, Henry. Yes, we are. Each 7 Mile. Cheers for you, Klinger for us. Give me some feedback, you guys. We're going to see what sacrifices have you made if you're a parent? And we can see if they correlate what we are about to share with you today. So there's 3 top ones that are true and dear to our hearts, Bootsy and myself. Some people call me TT. So to myself. And these are sacrifices that we have made personally or our parents may have made. And it's been a generational blessing and they have actually worked. They've come to fruition and they're proven track records. So that's why we're sharing them with you. So our first one that we would like to discuss is as a parent, we all know we make sacrifices as a parent, okay? You know, when you have a child, it's no longer about you. The child comes first. All the decisions you make are now centered around your child. So we're not talking about, hey, don't eat all my Doritos. Those are mine. I bought y'all Cool Ranch. I'll eat the the cheese ones. We're talking about financial sacrifices. And we have one person, Henry, said, put money aside for investing. That's a perfect one. And that's one of our actual units, as you can see, investments. That's a good one. And that one lies with one of our top 3 sacrifices. And we're going to go with extracurricular activities. Parents. If you have boys, I don't know who's more expensive, boys or girls. I had a boy. Mama, you had a girl, because I'm a girl. So I think girls are more expensive. Some people say boys are more expensive. What do you think?
It depends on the girl.
Depends on the girl.
And
you hit the nail on the head, because I'm not considered the average.
You are not.
Exactly.
That's where I'm going.
Exactly.
In the day, we called them tomboys.
You guys speak up.
Can you hear me?
Yes, just speak up a little bit.
In the day, you called them tomboys.
Tomboys?
But I don't know what they call them now.
Yeah.
But you were a sports person. You played football with your uncles, and you ran track. You did a little bit of everything. And now, if you're just going to talk about sports extracurricular, you were involved in extracurricular at the school. I forgot the name of the game that you had, academic games.
Yeah.
Okay.
I played a violin too, right?
Yeah, you did a little bit of
expensive? Was the violin expensive?
Well, it wasn't really expensive. It could have been. You had to get it from the school.
Mm-hmm. So that was an expense that was incurred.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Right. So what we're saying is, as a parent, we always are told we need to make sure your kids are involved in extracurricular activities. Mm-hmm. And we're going to give you an example of what extracurricular activities are, just in case we have new parents out there or people that are expecting to be parents. Extracurricular activities can range from sports to academics to arts and craft, meaning basketball is expensive. My son was on AAU teams, basketball, they travel. Academics, there's a lot for you to be a part of DACA, all these different marketing and business organizations when you're in academics. It's costly. Different academic, you got to have certain computers and technology nowadays to be advantageous for your academics. Right. Another one will be arts and craft or musical. I know parents have kids that are in band, which is expensive. You have the equipment, the insurance. There's a lot of that we need to take on to make that happen. So that means, as a parent, we have to make sacrifices so that we can have it in our B word, the budget, right? So I played sports. I ran track, I played basketball, and I had a violin. So those were expenses that you incurred, and you had to make some sacrifices to make that happen, being a single mom. So would you like to elaborate on
that? Well, right now we're focusing on extracurricular.
Yes.
But everything we're going to talk about is going to be interrelated. Mm-hmm. Anytime you're a parent, whether you have 1 child, 2 child, 3 children, you got to sacrifice and put it in the budget so that this child can grow up to have different experiences in life and be well-rounded. Mm-hmm. It also, sports builds character, integrity and principles. Playing a violin is a gift. Yep. So, but the parent has to be willing to take time aside to participate with that. Take money from places that you really don't have to participate. Everything you do when you're raising children is a sacrifice. I don't care if it's where you live, time
and money.
And money is not the most important factor. Mm-hmm. And I know you're going to hit on some other things that we sacrifice.
Exactly. For today's purpose, we're talking about parental sacrifices when it comes to finances to position your child for a better future financially. So extracurricular activities, parents, I know you're thinking, hey, they're too expensive. My baby can't attend, but it's a twofold. Like she said, it gives your child better exposure, creates character. And that's a sacrifice we need to make so that they can get exposed to that. So, in a nutshell, when it comes to children and those sacrifices, it all boils down to how you manage your money. Money management is the key. And selflessness. Is that right?
Yes.
Selflessness. So, we may have to ask ourselves, women, which one is more important? You see my nails right by now. I don't have any. Johnny Sink Jr. called me 10 thumbs because I don't have, they all look like thumbs because I don't have no nails. But at the end of the day, it's a sacrifice that I would make for the better good. Does that make sense? So it's a process of asking yourself my needs versus my wants for the benefit of my child.
Exactly.
And it's worth it. And it may be getting your hair done versus weekly to once a month or bi-weekly, but it's a small sacrifice because when you instill those behaviors or those traits and build that culture for your child, it actually will help them progress when they get out into the real world. So one main sacrifice is extracurricular activities. There's one more that I value very much, and I thank God that I had it, which was creating responsibilities within the home. What way can we do that when it comes to finances?
When you're speaking of the child, right?
Yes, we're talking about parental sacrifices.
Okay. I don't know if I'm jumping ahead or not, but teaching you financial responsibility. Example, you had a job.
Yep.
Okay. But you weren't allowed to have the job. I gave you guidelines. You only could have the job if your grades were up, maintained, and you had the right attitude. But
what about before I turned 14? When I, in Detroit.
Well, you had an allowance.
Huh?
You had an allowance.
Exactly. So how was that allowance created? Where did the money come from?
It came from me. And
so you took it
worked.
You took it from one need.
Exactly.
To
the other one. But
exactly.
That's before I owned the business. But I sacrificed because I wanted to show you how I was shown responsibility. Because when the responsibility, character, and the ethics and the principles are instilled, it helps you to become a successful adult. Exactly. It's not all about money and how much money you make. The material aspects are not important.
Exactly.
It's important that these things are instilled, but you saw me going to work.
So in a nutshell, me being paid per Wilson, our board member, me being paid for my chores was creating financial responsibility within my household.
Exactly.
And you sacrificed by pulling money from one area to make sure you instilled that in me, right? To make sure I got the allowance. So, okay, so parents, basically, the second sacrifice, the first sacrifice was extracurricular activities. Second sacrifice.
You're going in and I can't hear you.
Okay, it might be your signal. The first sacrifice is extracurricular activities. The second sacrifice is creating responsibilities within the home, which actually helps your child develop financial literacy to be better able to manage money management skills. And that's a sacrifice that we must make for the betterment of our children. Okay. So it could be as something as simple. I never used I hate to go all over, but I never used a dishwasher. When I was on Klinger, I'm old school. When I was on Klinger, I was the dishwasher, right?
That's right. So, correct.
And it became a habit. The kitchen needs to be clean. Clean does not mean just washing them and putting them in a thing. You need to clean the countertop down. You need to clean the stove. You need to sweep the floor and mop the floor. Don't go to bed with any dishes in the sink. And if that didn't happen, I was two things. I'm going to get a butt whooping. We're going to be woke up and cussed out. I didn't get paid. So it created a work ethic for me. my parents sacrificing to give me an allowance created a work ethic that made me understand the value of $1 or $10 because when I gave my own money, now I understood every time I see something, I don't need to have it because I'm gonna
exactly.
So I understood why mama would say, no, you're not getting that. You don't need that. Instead of just saying, oh, she mean, she get on my nerves. I understood. I was like, okay, Capri, you got $20 now. If you go buy this, you're only gonna have 15. Okay, no, I don't think I need to get it. I started understanding the value of $1 better because my mom made that sacrifice and made me have responsibilities within the home by giving me money. So hopefully it's all coming together, you guys. So the minor sacrifices we make now, again, it's going to help our kids. So we need to find a way within our own personal budget to pull money from here so that we can give it to our babies. It's not spoiling them. Spoiling them is giving them everything for free and they're not working for it. They're not earning it. Whether it's $10.
They don't understand responsibility.
Responsibility. $10 for every A. Your chores are done. Did you feed the dog? It creates a sense of responsibility and understanding how money works. Okay. So that's our second sacrifice as a parent. Coming down to the third sacrifice as a parent. Anybody know what it is? Drum roll. I need to play my song.
You are going in. Capri.
Yes.
Capri?
Yes.
You're going in and out.
Okay, that's your signal, mama. I'm gonna keep going.
Okay.
Okay, so basically the third sacrifice that one must make is a parent is providing them with a proper what? Education. Education. Wisdom is a defense. And I think I said this the last week. Wisdom is a defense. And there's several ways you can gain wisdom. You can gain wisdom, in my opinion, from the elderly, which is the best source of wisdom for me because they've been through it, they've seen it, and they're telling you what the pitfalls are and what not to do and what's going to be the outcome. Some of us going to have hard heads and be like, I'm going to do it my own way and do it. But you know what? Your best lesson was your last mistake. So giving them or making sure they're exposed to the proper education. Granted, we all can't afford to send our kids to private school. I understand that. I understand that. So therefore, we need to make sacrifices to make that happen. And I'm going to share a secret with y'all. My mama took me from, we're going to tell why. I ain't going to tell y'all everything. But she took me from Detroit Public Schools and put me in an all-white school district. Now that was a culture shock if I ain't never experienced one. I went from the school where the kids was selling the drugs to the school where the kids was using it. Now, it was a culture shock. At that moment, did I understand what my mama did? No, she was every name in the book, didn't get it, didn't understand it, but it was a sacrifice. It was a major sacrifice, which meant she needed to live in a particular zoning area so that I could qualify to go to a particular school. So it was a sacrifice, which meant she had to go without certain things. We don't need to go into extremities or whatever, but it was a major sacrifice. And that positioned me, let's zoom back to 1987. That positioned me at that current time in 87. In 87, right. It gave me the proper understanding of exposure at its best, because I told you I went from all black to all white. Exposure, understanding how to deal with different cultures. That right there was a lesson learned. Understanding how to deal with different cultures, understanding how to conflict resolution is not always about right or wrong. It's the principle sometimes. So me getting that, I had current, what would you call it? Improvement in my life, but it also positioned me for my future. Correct, Ma?
Exactly.
And when I say position me for my future, I'm not a disciple and I ain't God. But I can tell you one thing, that if I would have stayed in one of them Detroit public schools, I probably wouldn't have made it where I am now. And I thank God that I did end up in that school district, Grosse Pointe. And my mom made that sacrifice because I forgot you put me in a private school before that.
Yeah, before that.
I had to wear uniforms. Oh my God. Yeah. So everybody know when you go to a private school, it's money. So that was money pulled away from her doing her trucking stuff and her going out with Felicia Fly Jones and everybody else and hanging out with all these people. So she had to make a sacrifice. But make a long story short, where I'm going is I had a current improvement in my life and it set me up for my future. And it set me up for my future because Mr. T-Tart, and you know I have a horrible memory and I'm gonna always remember Mr. T-Tart. Mr. T-Tart, a white principal, he took me under his wing. And he's the one that, shall I say, helped me deal with the racism there and got me through it. And his daughter got jealous of me because her dad is taking in this little black girl and she didn't understand it. But the guidance that I received on top, because you know, when you're young, your parents don't know anything. So if there are any youth listening, I'm telling you right now, they don't know nothing. We think we know everything when we're young, but keep living. So I got a chance to go to my alma mater, Michigan State University. That's why my colors are green and white. So Michigan State University, which positioned me to where I am now. So the sacrifices that you make as a parent, and I'm be honest with you, my baby, I'm gonna see where he at. My baby, even him, I made sacrifices. He didn't understand it. He didn't understand it at all.
Right.
And, I'm gonna see. He told me to let me know when he wanted to come in. I'm gonna see if he can do it. Like I told you guys, I had a surprise, and he's supposed to come on and I guess spill the beans on me and all the butt whoopings I gave him and stuff. But because I made those sacrifices, that was it. I'm sorry, because the sacrifices that my parents made, it instills certain what?
Principles and integrity and character
in me, which in return, I instilled in my baby. And that's a generational blessing. I know everybody always talk about generational cursings, but we're gonna put it into the universe. We're gonna speak into existence generational blessings. Our goal is to make sacrifices in these three areas. One, extracurricular activities, parents. Budget your money so that your kids can get proper exposure. Two, create responsibilities within a household. Become your own bank in your house. Give your kids responsibilities. Give them chores so they can earn the money so that when they get out into the real world, they don't think everything's supposed to be dropped in their lap and then they go into, a convulsion because someone tells them no or it doesn't go their way. Okay, they don't have certain expectations and they don't know how to deal with certain adversities and trials and tribulations. Three, and last but not least, is the current sacrifices to give them exposure to proper education. Now, I'm going to give a little tidbit. And I'm going to say this because he's still at the quadrant, so he can't log in. But I'm going to give a little tidbit. I'm saying education, but based on Flea's due diligence, the educational system is skewed.
Yes.
It is not set up for certain people of color to advance.
Exactly.
Okay? And I'm trying to be politically correct because I have the very diverse friends, but anybody know me, they know I'm Black. I'm just not Mexican or anything. But it's set up for us to fail. So when you look at help me out, Boosie. When you look at the trend, our people are not exposed to financial literacy.
Can I say this?
Yes, ma'am.
You being nice.
Oh, Lord. I'm trying to get sponsors. Go ahead.
Listen, no, at this current time in our society, you're talking about Black Lives Matters. Mm-hmm. But what happens here is when you have systematic, institutionalized racism, if you don't own a banking system, an educational system, or you don't control anything, you are subjected to who your oppressor is.
Exactly.
So what you're teaching people is to be financially literate, mm-hmm. but all things, money answers all things according to the Bible.
It does.
It's the love of money that's not right.
Yep.
But if you utilize what the teachings you're giving, banking, budgeting, all the things that needs to be successful, you don't really have to own a business, but it would be wise to own a corporation. You control your destiny. Mm-hmm. Okay. And so you can't do anything without the foundation, integrity, principles, character, budgeting, everything you are saying you went through, and a lot of things I'm learning from you today that I'm in tears because just to hear you say how grateful you are, because we was fighting over Girls Point North.
Oh man, literally.
Yeah. Yeah. I was almost gonna kill her, and she threatened me. I was like, what? And so I said, you're gonna go up there. You're gonna learn everything the system learned, business-wise, because the people who go to your school own the companies. You're gonna learn from them, and you're gonna bring it back to us. And that's exactly what you did.
Okay.
Okay. Remember that?
Yep.
So sacrificing, if you're a real parent, I'm not saying other people not real. A mother,
true mother.
I'm not taking away from daddies because I had a great daddy. Okay. However, mothers know we have to make sacrifices with husbands, with mates. We can't go have dinner every time you want to have dinner.
Yep.
Okay. We have to make that man also budget, which I did. Okay. Yep. You could have had everything you wanted. But I wouldn't allow that. He was going to give you everything without working for it. But I said, that's not going to work.
And that would have ruined me.
That would have ruined you.
That would have ruined me because I'm spoiled.
Yeah.
But what type of spoil? It's like to a certain degree or a certain type of spoil. I don't know how to even describe it, but I am spoiled. I must say that. And when I try to explain that to a gentleman, I say, I'm spoiled with love.
That's right.
And when I say I'm spoiled with love, what I mean by that is they spoil me, but they don't spoil me rotten to the point where I'm intolerable or they making me, it's affecting who I am as a person. So my stuff is earned, you know what I'm saying? In a certain kind of way, you know what I'm saying? But it's a give and take. It goes both ways. Right. And for a parent though, I just think in this time and era where we're in now, if they don't know about budgeting, they've learned. It's a wake up call for children and for parents right about now, because not everyone is blessed as, shall I say, the local heroes, teachers and things of that nature, because there's certain occupations that they may not have been affected by this corona. Right. And the others, hourly workers, people that work at bars, clubs, hotels even, they've been affected drastically. So it's probably been a real wake up call for their kids because they can't get what they want.
Exactly.
You know, and if certain values weren't instilled in their kids, that household is going to be hell on wheels right about now, because they're not going to understand. No, they're not going to understand. We don't have the money anymore. And I'm gonna share. I wish Tez was on here right now. I'm gonna share a little tidbit probably before you get on here, because he's gonna get mad if I expose all his stuff. But Tez was on a punishment one time, real bad punishment. When I take everything, he messed up, and it's probably academics because he wasn't a bad kid. But he was on punishment. I took his cell phone away. Why this little Negro? And it was around the what do you call that? The 2008 economic crisis, right? And how I remember, because I was living in Arizona, because I moved there when the economic crisis hit. But he was on punishment. He didn't have a cell phone, and he snuck his little butt and got on the house phone. Back then we had house phones. Now I'm telling my age. But he snuck his little butt on the house phone, and me being that mother that I am, I'm listening in on the phone conversation. And this little Negro telling the female, yeah, you know, it's a recession right now. So my mama had to cut back on the bills, and I don't have my cell phone. But it wasn't the fact that he was sneaking on the phone. It was the fact that you were smart enough to say that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, what 9 or 10-year-old is going to justify it's a recession? That's why I don't have my cell phone. He didn't tell her he was on punishment. I'm calling from the house phone because my mom had cut back on the bills. So it kind of, I was mad at him, but then again, I was kind of proud of him at the same time, because dang, so that means he really been listening to what I've been preaching.
Right.
It was a crazy moment. Like, I'm giving him that. Yeah, it was a good one. But then again, I'm like, get your ass off that phone type of thing. But it kind of, I reflected on that moment and was like, Capri, what you're doing working, and don't give up. Don't pull up on it. And I stayed on his neck. I stayed on all of these topics right here. Tez can probably teach. I'm gonna be honest with you, but that's because he had a certain type of culture and environment that he was raised in. Mm-hmm. So your kids can have the same exposure.
Exactly.
Right? Because of our nonprofit, FLEE, Financial Literacy Educators of America, what we do is we offer these types of educational tools or units I offer to adults and the youth, so that I'm kind of privy towards the youth because, I had a baby or whatever. But, and also, as you catch them when they're young, I forgot the saying, it's easier to, what's the saying when they say it's easier to teach a child something than change them when they become a man? What's that saying?
That's it.
That's it. So I feel we catch them as a youth and instill certain things in them. When they become 22, 23, 25, they're going to make better decisions. And that's that wisdom that I started out with you guys. I keep telling you there's two defenses, wisdom and money.
Right.
Wisdom and money will position you in life to the point where you will have a lot more favor than you already have. We all have favor. We've all been granted with certain gifts, certain skills. But I'm telling you right now, wisdom and money will help position you. So why not make sure your kids are positioned when they leave your household? But it's best to start now. And I'm speaking to the parents because it's going to be your job to instill it in them. They don't know right from wrong.
No, they don't.
There we go. Train up a child. And what else is Boosie?
Train up a child the way they should go, and they shall not depart.
That's it.
Proverbs 22:6.
Thank you. Wilson had to remind. That's that Detroit flavor, man. Wilson started it, train up a child, and she finished it. Okay. Detroit in the house. Where my Dallas people at? We regulate over here. But again, you train up a child. So what I want and what we want with FLEE is our passion is to train them up. And the foundation is wisdom and money. We're combining the two. Let's start introducing them to financial psychology, budgeting, banking, credit, loans, and debt. They're never too young. They're never too young. So you need to start introducing it to them now so that when they do become our age or in their 30s and 40s, they'll be ready to fight against those oppressions. Right?
They're going to have them.
Exactly. Where's Tez? He said he was coming. Let me see how much longer he's going to be. And I didn't want to keep y'all too much longer, but Tez wanted to come on here. He has to take his uniform off by law. He can't do anything with his government uniform on. So he's trying to, I guess, take it off. But I did want him to speak to you guys before we leave. I'm going to give him a few more moments. If not, he can join us next week. But I know you probably want like, who is Tez? Tez is my baby. I had a picture of him up there, but you can't see it because of the FLEE stuff. But Tez is my baby. He's a graduate of Duncanville High School here in Texas. He's currently in the Air Force, and I'm very, very proud of him. I'm going to be honest with you and very transparent. There's times where I call him for advice. I trained him up, like you said. I call him for advice and be like, Tez, I need some guidance. He's like, what? He get thrown off, but you need to surround yourself with like-minded individuals, right?
That's right.
And he's grown now. He's not a kid.
Right.
And I don't have to worry about certain things. And I want to help the community, our Black and brown babies. I want to help our community instill this in their babies too, because I'm telling you right now, man, when you know certain things, it gives you power. It does. It gives you power. It gives you respect. People treat you differently. I hate the stereotypes.
Yeah.
I hate the stereotypes, and the sometimes people do.
That's true.
Yeah, sometimes people do perpetuate the stereotypes that are inflicted upon African Americans. We do. I'm gonna be honest with you. Some of us do. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I've talked to some very bright individuals that don't look like they're who they are. You get where I'm coming from? And sometimes you just need an extra push. You might need help to roll out some of these things, because it is a gift to be an educator. You know, you can know something, but do you know how to convey it or disseminate it so that people it can resonate with individuals. Mm-hmm. And that's what with Flee, what we do is we have a team of educators. And I'm not saying some people that just woke up yesterday and say, yeah, I want to do some financial literacy. No, we have credentials. I've seen a lot of fly-by-night, literally fly-by-night people saying I'm a financial expert, never even taken a finance class. We are bringing to the table some very qualified people. For example, Henry Wilson, who's on the call now, you talking about a liaison between the children and the community. That should be his name. His name shouldn't be Henry. It should be liaison. He's hands-on when he's dealing with the kids. He takes out so much time and take them to college trips. He give them so much exposure that the parents can't do. But that's part of being a village. We got to go back to being that. You know what I'm saying? And we've decided to take all of our skill sets and bring it back to our community. And that's what we're doing. What my granddaddy taught Boosie, my mama, what Boosie learned through her 68 years on this earth. She's still instilling. Okay, my bad. Yeah, she's still instilling in me. What I've learned and I'm still learning, we're all sharing. So Wilson, he's been in the education system. He dealt with the penal code system. What do you call that system? And it's a passion. It's a passion. Boosie has a background dealing with
juveniles. The Wilson, criminal justice system.
Criminal justice, and we don't want our kids to become statistics. Right. And I'll be honest with you. When I say perpetuate the stereotype is we either gonna one become a statistic or what? Dead or in jail.
That's right.
That's how they view us. And traditionally, our kids, Black and brown, enter certain situations because of a lack of wisdom.
That's right.
And finances. And It's not just the kids. Those kids will grow up and become adults one day.
Exactly.
And if you look at statistics, the number one reason for divorce is financial disparity. It's over money.
That's right,
financial disparity. We got another one. The number one reason why our people are incarcerated is because they needed money. They did something to make money. Drugs, robbery, or going out here making a stupid decision because you're not thinking straight. It leads to mental illness.
Right.
It leads to suicide.
Right.
So financial literacy is the foundation that can actually correct a lot of these paths. Am I right, Boosie? You want to add?
And you don't have to come from this, okay? Like you're doing mentoring and all of these things coming from people who know, that's willing to give back to the community is so important because I'm going to sidebar in 1 minute. Mm-hmm. You go into Italian areas, you go into Jewish areas, you go into all non-Black areas for shopping, and you see their children, all family members. This is something that's been taught.
Yep.
And we can teach things that God has given us the talent to do so that others, to whom much is given, much is required. You've been given much, okay? And not just you, we all have been, but we can't be selfish and self-centered because you see the Black and brown babies, they don't have nobody to teach them, to keep them out of prison. And that's why I started the programs I started to keep them from going to prison.
Yep.
We must do this.
We must. It's not in the education system, you guys. No. It's not. And I did some research and I went and talked to one of my friends that lives in Frisco. He graduated from Michigan State with me. And he went to the pro NBA player. I'm gonna get him on here next time. And when I spoke to him about Flee, he's an advocate for Flee. His exact words, all the way in Frisco, we think they're privileged. He said, Capri, our school district up here only offer one course about finances, and it's called Money Matters. He said, and it doesn't even entail a portion of what you're talking about. One course. But you want to know down here what they offer? I taught at a school. Several school districts. I brought this to that school or those schools. And I don't want a segment of the population or our community to only have access to it. That makes sense. So that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. And because if anybody know me, I've been working on this for 5 years. Right. Lee is not a fly by night. We're not new. This is something that we put our blood, sweat, and tears. And Wilson was actually one person who would come by my office and I'm pulling up something. He would come by and peek his head in. What you in here working on, True? They call me True. What you in here working on, True? And I was like, don't worry about it. He's like, what's Flea? And I told him, he was like, damn, True, you working on something. I like that. No one's thinking about it. Not with a passion, not with credentials and credibility. And you need to be careful who you're dealing with. Do your due diligence. It's called vetting. Check people out. I do it. Check them out. Not everybody's qualified to be around your kids. Not everybody's qualified to instill certain things in your kids.
Exactly.
Me personally, I love taking advice. Like I said, the elderly, because they've been there and done that. But more importantly, someone that's been where you're trying to go. I got one of my students on here, Charles.
Hey.
Let me see if he can. I would love to get Charles on here. Let me see. Charles, if you can listen to me, I am about to text you to link to get on. And I would love for you to join real quick. I'm glad we were talking about our students. Charles graduated, and he was actually one of my scholars that I helped graduate because he had to pass my class or he wasn't going to graduate. But very proud of him. Very honorable young man. You know him, Boosie. He's a pastor. Remember the one that's the pastor? Church. Yeah, pastor of the church. He went on to, I believe it's Texas. What's the one in Commerce? At Texas A&M, I think. He went on there, and let's see if he tried to link in or whatnot. But there he is. Okay. Let's get him on here real quick. Hey, Charles.
Hey, can you hear me?
How you doing, young man?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. You remember my mama?
Yes, ma'am.
What you doing now?
Nothing much in school. Just moved into my apartment not too long ago.
Congratulations. Your own apartment. I'm proud of you. You come a long way from cheating on that Y equals MX plus B.
Exactly.
What we're doing is we talking about, you already know about Flea.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. And Charles was one of the students that saw me working on this stuff in my classroom. And Mr. Trevelyan, you got some businesses. You do. Why you here? Remember, you was always, why are you here if you do real estate? And
yes,
you do this. So I share with you that, hey, I got a passion for teaching kids about financial literacy. Charles expressed interest in real estate at one point in time. So would you like to share with us maybe what you think kids need to be privy to or be aware of? Because what year did you graduate? 2000?
I had to think myself. 2018.
18. So you've been out for about 2 years. So
yes, ma'am.
Share with us something that you maybe have encountered and being a little bit financially sound that helped you with.
Got you. My main thing is the loans and debt. Definitely going into college, you have getting student loans, going to have to pay them back eventually soon. And that's really one of my main things. Jobs and careers, I keep a job. I've never not had a job. And risk management, lately I've been doing Forex. I've been trading in the foreign exchange market. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Martez he's into that too.
Yes, ma'am. And so that risk management is something that we've really been we really install into our mentors and our mentees.
Okay.
Because if you over leverage, you're going to blow your account, and nobody wants to blow their account.
Yep.
So those are a couple things that I've been.
You're bringing tears to my eyes, boy. This is y'all asking. My mama know I don't cry, but you bringing tears to my eyes because you've come a long way, and I'm proud of you.
Thank you, Ms. Fruitman.
I saw it in you when I first had you, 9th grade year and all that, and I stuck with you. You know what I'm saying? You was one of those kids that would come to my room, Mr. Trevelyan, so-and-so pissed me off. And we would have to go through our own counseling sessions with Charles, dealing with people. It wasn't just about math for us. You know it was a part of helping you. And Wilson was heavily involved. Fairbanks was heavily involved. It was a process of instilling more than just being a teacher, but what we was teaching. Yeah. And to hear you say you experiencing these things and this is my passion, I'm like, that algebra wasn't my passion. You know what I'm saying? This is my passion. So to see it come to fruition, it's kind of touching.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
You know, really helped a lot.
Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
You really helped with a lot of this stuff, because I remember when Flea was, when you was really just started working on Flea, that's been about 5 years.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Because I've been out of school 2 years. I was in school for 4 years, so that's almost 6 years. Well, I've been in school longer than that, but that's been a while. Yeah. So I'm just glad to see you seeing Flea grow as a business, as a you just grow as a businesswoman.
Yeah. And you're a product of what's the Kappa Leagues too.
Yes, ma'am.
Remember I was telling you guys earlier that Mr. Wilson is heavily involved in the community. Wilson is actually is a Kappa Alpha Psi, and he brought to the local high school like a sub chapter of that to help mentor future Kappas, and it was called Kappa Leagues. You want to share with us a little bit about your experience as a Kappa League?
Yes, ma'am. While serving in Kappa League, I served as the president of the Dallas Alumni Chapter. That position really alone has really helped mold me to the person I am today. Being over the Dallas Alumni Chapter, Kappa League, doing a lot of community service, which I continue to do community service now here on the campus of Texas A&M University Commerce. I'm the founder and president of Passion House Campus Ministry. That's just a pointless plug right there.
But, hey, plug it all you want. You know me. Hey, you got a social media following, or what do you want them to follow you at?
Follow us at Passion House Campus Ministry on Twitter. You can like us on not Twitter, on Facebook and Twitter.
Okay, what is it again? Passion?
On Twitter is Passion House 33, and on Facebook is Passion House Campus Ministry.
And what's your mission? What do you guys do?
Basically just spreading the good news of Jesus Christ on our college campus, because we understand that on a college campus, it's not hard to, it's hard to adjust. It's hard to lose your faith, but we're just there to help bring light and shine light on our campus. Definitely dealing with the different things that our campus have faced in the last year. We've been there on the front lines working towards everything that's been going on.
I like that. Ma, do you remember when we had the home buyer buffet?
Yeah, his mother, he got it, honestly.
Yes, he did. That's what I was saying. Go ahead.
Excellent caterer.
Yep.
He catered your event. So this is another example of somebody being taught, and he's a real good minister too. I've been there. Martez and I went to the church several times, and you should be in tears, because when you see the fruition of what you poured into people, you know your life is not in vain.
Exactly.
Yeah. He's just showing you what you've done over the years. And we need to hear that.
Yep.
Yeah,
we do.
So I'm proud of you. Tell your mom. I already know what you're doing, because your mama my Facebook friend.
See how we become big family? This is not no business. We changing lives. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't just your teacher. I'm not a homegirl now, because you grown. You know, I'm a mentor. I'm somebody you can call on. Hey, anything. You know what I'm saying? I forgot her name. I think it's Maya. When she went off to college a couple times, said, Mr. William, I'm hungry. I cashed after her money, go get pizza. That's what we do. You know what I'm saying? It's not just because our school pay us a check and we here get this check like some, you already know, Charles, like some of them there to do. You know, I can speak candidly that Wilson, help me out, Charles, Wilson, Fairbanks, myself, who else would you say was there with a passion? You mute. I can't hear you on mute. He muted.
Can you hear me now?
I got you.
Winter Miller, Quenisha Miller.
Yep.
Sydney Tilger.
Yep.
I think that's about it, because it was very few. But Mr. Wilson, Miss Langley, Mr. Lita Williams.
Yeah, we held it down. And then Quanisha Miller is on my board as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she's on my board. And then Winter Miller, she's in real estate school right now. And she joined my financial services office to offer financial services and real estate. So I'm steadily still trying to mold lives. And
I need to hurry up and still get into real estate.
I got you. You know I got you on that. That one I can talk to you while I'm asleep until you got to do that.
Yes, ma'am.
But I appreciate you coming on. Unfortunately, Tez won't be able to make it. He's still talking to his colonel. So God blessed us with you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So we'll have Tez next week. But I'm proud of you, Charles. You got your teacher, the toughest teacher on campus, crying. Boy, don't tell nobody I'm kicking your butt.
Yes, ma'am.
But I appreciate you coming on. I love you.
No problem. Love you too.
Keep doing what you're doing. Keep shining. And if there's anything I can do, as you know, let us know. Tell your mom I said hello. And make sure you chime in next Wednesday and share it on your Facebook page so we can get as many followers as possible. And then if there's any topics that you would like for me to convey, let me know. And we can team up and collaborate and do some stuff as well for your organization.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. I'll see y'all soon.
Okay. Have a good one, honey.
You too. Bye-bye.
Okay, so we're gonna close out. Y'all got me crying. It's about time for me to get off of here because this is something I don't do. But it's just confirmation that that was one of my dogs at the school. I ain't gonna lie to you. That was one of my dogs. So it's good to see that. I'm gonna be honest, I'm proud of them, and I'm looking for more of those. Help me spread it so I can get more of these type of outcomes in the community. So any parents, aunts, uncles, cousins that have children, but also this is not just for the kids, because I know some adults, you may need some help too. But if you feel you or anyone you may know may need some help with building or making your financial literacy a little stronger and more competent, you need to actually find us on these social media outlets at DFW Fleet. Follow us. Accordingly, you already follow me on my Facebook page. But these are the topics that we teach. And remember, be mindful. It may say financial psychology, but the subtopic within that unit is like 4 or 5 other topics. So we offer a plethora of knowledge when it comes to financial literacy. And then we offer an extension of this. For example, when it gets to entrepreneurship, we'll teach you about becoming an entrepreneur. Then what? Exactly. I'll show you how to make that come to fruition. For example, I will show you how to get incorporated, get an IEN number, get an EIN number, how to get a domain. Some of you probably don't even know what a domain is, but I teach you. I show you how to get your website going, how to get your social media going. All that is a part of my curriculum. It's just an extension of it. So again, here you are. Classes are all online. Financial literacy courses, they're only $30 a month. It's a small investment for a big reward. I go all the way to investments. You see, that's the bottom, because that's really when we're getting ready to retire. But for those of you that have children, we do investments as well. We talk about college funds. Remember I was saying prep that baby? We need to start making investments now to secure our kids' future. And for some of us, start securing our own future. Because I know some adults that don't know as much as Charles just said.
Right.
So meditate on it, pray on it, and swallow your pride. Don't be crabs in the bucket. Make sure you sign up and pray on it and tell God, I need what? Deliverance.
Right.
You need that wisdom. You need that money. And when you get the money, you need to know how to manage it. So $30 a month, Flee. Then also the extensions for the coaching and make things come to fruition. So any questions, comments, concerns, you can find our inbox on Flee. What does Flee stand for again? Financial Literacy Education of America. And what are we doing? Giving advice you can bank on. All right, we'll see you next week, next Wednesday, Wealth Wednesday, #. Love you.